All right, everybody starting to pile in tonight. Derek Webster from Ontario, Canada. Good to see you here. Hey, man, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. I'm going to be your engineer for the next 60 minutes of performance talk. Troy McCracken, good to see you in with us here tonight. Hey, feel free to throw up your town where you're listening from so we can give you a little shout out. Welcome to Torque Performance. We'd like to remind you, horsepower is what you brag about, but torque is what you ride. Get ready for an exciting show. If you guys want to help us get this thing out there a little bit further, hit that like and share button. But be ready. In 2.5 minutes, we're going live with this episode of Torque Performance Television. Steve, solid following on this, and we appreciate that. Want to give a shout out for that to everyone over at Chopper Town and the Cycle Source family for carrying this show week after week. You can tune talk. Stick around, we're going live in a minute and a half. Chris M., what am I going to see? You mentioned that. We were just talking about it in pre-show. Jason, counting down the seconds now, but you still have time to grab a drink, kick back and relax and get ready for 60 minutes. Okay, 33 seconds. I guess that's close enough. We're going to get this one fired up, man. Get ready to go live with this week's installment of...
with my co-host, Mr. John O'Brien. How are you, sir?
What's up? How are we doing today? You're a bachelor home this week, right?
I am. I know my and ice cream Ubered in, and I didn't know you could do. Did you know you could Uber Eats ice cream?
I did. It's like $20 though to order it in.
Well, so
by me it is anyway. It's very expensive.
Last weekend, Nothing Stock Cam was at my house. Hey, when are we going for ice cream? And he goes, it'll be here in a minute. I don't even have to I had to get off my couch, and I felt like, dude, I have never felt like such a piece of human garbage more than that when I had to walk, 25 feet in it. I felt like such a schlub.
So it wasn't like a Sunday or, like by me, Dairy Queen. You know what I mean?
No, for me, I'm like, okay, you're going to be an absolute, you've got to get off the couch. So I've had quite the week. I'm sure you have too. Flyin, Cole Freeman, he's going to be talking all about his upcoming Sturgis event and some of the things he's doing. He's working with a new charity that benefits. Some footage to show you. This was kind of how my week went. So let's show everybody how
let's check it out.
That's how my week has gone so far. So it's time for our 60-second news clip with Mr. Chris Callan and
Torque Quick 60. Coast Bike Week creates exciting new experience for motorcycle racing fans. West Coast Bike Week, July 9th through the 18th. For those who love all things on two wheels, there's plenty of excitement for riders or the enthusiasts of all ages and experience levels. So to summarize this Tech Raceway, some bike nights, and even at the end they talk about pedal bikes, but it sounds...
And it all seems to coincide with some V-twin activity as well, which I think is cool. These new activations are good. A
regular occurrence week after week now. This is coming in from 7 News. Tingsboro, Massachusetts, a group of thieves smashed through a window at a motorcycle dealership, grabbing bikes and then taking off. Surveillance video showing them out. And like I said, this is something that you're seeing this as like a regular thing, man. Everyone's doing this dash and grab now,
It's or you've really got you just have to insurance up.
I mean,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's just a drag to see that that's something that, you know, it comes up in the.
Have that? You had that on the shop talk
Yeah.
that on Sunday night. That was
the one guy got stuck in the door.
Got stuck in the door.
Harley Davidson factory HD riders Kyle and Travis Wyman finished first and second at Road America. Harley Davidson's racers sweep podium spots. The Harley Davidson Screaming Eagle factory race in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Kyle Wyman aboard the number 33 factory prepared Harley Davidson Road Glide Special powered by a modified Screaming Eagle Milwaukee. His new teammate and brother Travis Wyman finished second in his debut on his number 10 factory prepared Harley Davidson Road Glide Special. Hayden Gillum took third and completed the podium sweep for HD racers aboard his number 79 Vance and the boys at HD.
Well, this time, I mean, you know, I said it last time when we were talking. I really, you know, John has, you know, they say they got a crate motor in there. That's awesome. But I wonder how long. Can't hate on people putting the work in, you know.
Well, you know, here you have, like, for generations now, we've had guys in the bench race position with that.
I would agree.
Did anybody hear what happened to Indian with the 2 laps to go? Why, you know, what caused?
There's not. It's funny. I was talking with I don't want to say who it was, but somebody who raced in a couple out of this thing. It hasn't really taken on as much as it's going to. I think the sportsman level stuff is going to be we're going to see an influx. I think by this time next year, you're going to have a substantial race in wallets and skill and ingenuity and all those things. So it's going to be.
I'd be shocked if the sports class doesn't kick off or.
Yes, sir. Next up in the news comes in, it was quite shocking. Residents alarmed as motorcyclists keep taking over 41st Street pedestrian bridge over Lakeshore Drive. Chicago. A view from a distance shows motorcycles taking over the bridge was supposed to be there to help people walk across the drive. Meredith,
that's not very nice.
Well, this is the thing about it. You know,
it looks fun.
I thought we were at a place where since hundreds of motorcycles crossing the bridge nonstop. Neighbor showed us video that captured over the weekend and said it was not the first time they've witnessed more than a dozen motorcyclists riding over the dozen and more than a dozen.
Oh, look, a dandelion must be the last one of the season.
Edition. Triumph Scrambler is up for auction.
That is a good-looking motorcycle.
Right?
It is.
God dang.
And here's the great thing about it. Across the Meekum auction block with a charitable twist. The motorcycle is one of the exclusive run of just 1,000 produced globally and boasts a desirable serial number that matches the number plate run by Steve McQueen in 1960 Troubled Youth, which McQueen himself attended.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That is cool.
Some Wikipedia as nails. So that's awesome, man.
All right, man. Cool. Well, I'm going to turn it over to the professionals. I appreciate you guys listening.
Well, to our first segment, our new product showcase this week. We've got a new product that I pulled off the
I picked one of my favorite parts. This is a primary chain tensioner. This works on everything from an 06 Dyna. You probably have. They've been around for a lot of years. They build a lot of fantastic product. Primary chain case with the factory non-adjustable primary 3/4 of an inch play in the top of your chain. When you don't have that, you can overstress the main drive gear bearing. You can overstress the inner prime, kind of like the old Sportster tensioner does. You adjust it and a reasonable amount of mechanical acumen, and you're only going to need this fluid and one of the big gaskets to go around, and any torque to yield fasteners that you take off. These retail for about $180, and they're available at all Drag Special. Torque Performance Television, new product showcase. Have a great week.
Hey guys, Mikkel here from Clockworks. Today I'm going to talk to you about a fantastic cleaning product that we offer. Kid, you're going to do a wax on, wax off, clean it with one side, flip it to the dry side. You'll have everybody knows us because of our fantastic Clockworks Flare windshields, but a lot of people didn't know that we also have a great cleaning product. Shine matte finish and also shine the gloss part as well as the windshield. and any chrome you have on the motorcycle.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it.
It's everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we
With my co-host, Mr. John O'Brien. So, John, we've got new racing sanctioning body and all of the new rules and all of the new. I mean, there's so many moving parts to this, and it's a lot of work. And you know, I went to Saddlemen a few weeks back, got to meet some of the riders, got to meet some of the team owners. And there are people throwing a lot of elbow grease at this. This is not just a money thing. Some of the guys that I talked to, he's kind of that's where the genesis of this came from. And I think it's time to bring him in.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk to him. Let's see what
Mr. Rob Buydos, how are you, sir?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thanks for having me on tonight.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it very much.
You bet.
So I want to, the first question that I have for a year and a half before anything ever was able to move.
It was something I came up with, you know, based on the whole world of, started with the Dynas and FXRs and things, and then really morphed real quick into the baggers. And, you know, as you're watching them, and I think probably people maybe swing arm, real raw components, it's not a traditional bike show winning thing. You know, it's something that's more, you know, utilitarian. And I say we're able to do that. Not that the performance segment hadn't been from what they're finding from going to the racetrack. I mean, when you're seeing guys on road glides and street glides in full road racing.
I mean, one of the things that, you know, John and I are involved in a lot of conversations, you know, in our bike shops about bikes. When we talked to Corey West and Patricia Fernandez, they said that those bikes were only a couple tenths off some of the
off of the bike. And I'm not saying that they're, you know, a scalpel with the respect that it deserves, and you let it do what it does, and you let the torque work and stuff. You'll real innovation in there as well. The one I'm really the most successful classes maybe ever in road racing. They had huge crowds to watch it. They had big turnouts of participants at mid-90s at VR 1000, which, you know, was at a time when the technology from Kawasaki, Yamaha, and Ducati was really been raced hard until this event in this big twins class. And I just received a text from Roland Sands today, you know, on his Indian that they're putting together for it. They'll be filming and a lot of TV. NAMS, he's a designer of a lot of wiring harnesses and stuff these guys are going to, so that the bikes don't just randomly shut off because of all the CAN bus and all the different sensors and alarms and different things on them, anti-theft. But landmark class, never done in the history of this road racing, you know, kind of put the big twin Harley out on the track to represent and see where they're at. So that's going to be pretty badass.
When you look at a super bike, all the safety wire that's on there, all the little provisions that are made to make sure that bike can go around the track. What's the biggest barrier to entry when you first conceive this idea and start moving forward with it?
And it wasn't as much as we don't understand it. From that point on, they understood it completely. They had a visual guide to go by and said, that actually looks incredibly cool. You know, a bunch of sporties and things. I mean, it looks cool going around a racetrack, and it sounds even cooler.
Rob, when did you add the Dyna and FXR class? I know
we did that. Maybe didn't have the Ben Bostrom credentials and things like that. Brought that in at Daytona. Chris was down there and actually covered that for us. So from then on, and then, you know, obviously the Bagger GP, which, by the way, this is world. We are the first Bagger GP class that will have a pro purse to go along with our amazing trophies. Pro purse too. So the top three in that class are going home with some CASH.
Wow,
that just levels everything up to.
Well, I mean, you know, here's the thing: a lot of time and effort into the whole thing. I mean, we know that the attrition on the components that stronger, lighter, faster, bigger cam lifts. I mean, it's they're working that fast to come up with this stuff because it's the weekend. We know when we're bringing our fans in, it's not like we're going, well, hey, some of this stuff you're going to really night show to the bikes on the track. If you're a Harley Davidson Indian crowd kind of fan where, you're like, oh, okay, that's, every time there's bikes on the track, it's for you. You will have known one. You will have ridden one, owned one. You may have ridden one there. And you definitely know somebody that owned one of those bikes. So
one of the things that when people first started talking about the bagger racing, I thought it was the coolest thing I had heard, and I really did. And here was my analogy. People were like, well, they don't handle, they look like shit. They're grandpa bikes, they're geezer glides, all these things. And the other question was, why would you even do that? And my answer to that was, and I hate to keep going back to an auto reference, but you can a 69 Chevelle is not a good handling car, but you can pro tour that thing and put bigger brakes, bigger tires, bigger suspension, and make it appropriate to compete against other 69 Chevelles, 69 Camaros and stuff. And that's where the pro touring thing came from. And, the Hot Rod magazine, they've got that tour that goes throughout the whole country where, there's all these different metrics that they drag race them, they road race them, all these things. It's not about necessarily what you're riding. It's the fact that you're doing something that maybe it wasn't built for that makes it so cool.
Well, you got to remember, we have the most imaginative aftermarket in any of the recreational sports. I spend a lot of time in motocross, and definitely there was a period in the suspension era and when they were liquid cooling bikes, in the late 70s and early 80s, where technology was moving real fast. The last handful of years, they have electric start, a lot of aluminum. They haven't changed much in a long time. And the aftermarket's so handicapped, they adjust the suspension, they put a different exhaust. The Harley world, it needs every aftermarket component imagined to be able to accomplish this feat. And the aftermarket, like as I said, moves so fast, the suspension, the brakes, the motor, the ground clearance, the weight, the ergonomics of the bike, just all those things. And they're constantly evolving. Where do you see some of the bikes, the Bagger Racing League and the Bagger GP class? We have a pretty liberal rule package for that. Where do you see some of these bikes that are rolling out? This is just kind of to show you how the guys from Saddleman and Fueling and Trask and Alloy Art, Spy Fox, and on and on. I mean, where do you see these bikes? And this is the things that kills me about these guys. They're all being top secret right now, so we're not seeing as much as we'd like to. But I've been kind of privy to a little bit, and the thing I'm most excited about, these guys have really got into the paint booth. So they look amazing. Pistol Peach stuff is popping when you see it.
Yeah.
All
his bikes are. All his bikes are like that.
I mean, and these things are going to look fantastic going around the track. And then in the other classes and the guys from Speed Merchant, Brandon's bikes always are looking good, and Tony will be sweet on that. So, I mean, it just goes on and on and on how good this is going to be. We got a new guy signed up. I see Brian Shields right here in Youngstown, right where I live. Guy's down the street. He signed up. He's heading to Utah. He's doing something with with some veterans and homeless veterans, doing great things like that. And the guys at Hard Drive even helped him out. So, I mean, heck, good luck to him. So it's growing like that.
Yeah. Rob, have you ever seen anything catch on quite like this? In all your years being involved in all types of different racing and all types of different. Have you ever seen something catch on this quick?
Well, and the reason that I think it's really able to catch on is that the dealerships can provide all of the parts necessary. This is a lot of bolt together. The fabrication goes into making the triple clamps, making the aluminum swing arms, making the mid-mount controls. But these are parts that you buy. Drag Specialties, for instance, our title sponsor, They have a fat book. And I talk a lot of times to their buyers, and they're saying that companies are sending them. Remember when heat shields would have a scratch on it? And you'd send the thing back and you'd be out of your mind that your bike had a scar on the back of the heat shield. Now, not only do they not want heat shields, they want it with all the welds showing as emblazoned as they can. I mean, they want these things to look as raw and industrial and purpose-built. No more fluff, no more covers over a cover. They want these things lean, mean, and purpose-built.
Yeah, I mean, when I was out there, I was the one thing I took away from that room, being out at Saddleman, when there were so many different bikes in there, is that everybody is not pulling from the same engineering pool. And what I mean by that is some people were trying to cut their bags short. Some people were rolling the bags. Some people were mounting them higher. Some people were mounting them lower. Some people were, I mean, all the different.
The funny thing about that is the
bearing designs and all that stuff.
The primary is the thing that hits everybody.
Yes.
The bags don't even touch the ground. It's the primary. That's going to be the $1 million cure. The primary.
Did you see the Indian Challenger has air scoops for their calipers on the front end?
All that stuff. I mean, it's technology. You watch the Ducati have scoops. They're going to have
he was dragging the air scoops for the. He was dragging the air scoops for the calipers.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't believe it. It was impressive.
One of the analogies that really first on is imagine back in the real early 60s, you got guys from F1 from Europe coming over here and they meet Richard Petty and he's in a Dodge Charger. And they're like, well, what are you going to race? And he's like this. And they're like, no, our cars weigh 1,600 pounds and have, a few hundred horsepower. And, and you're driving basically a rental car. But once you got it figured out, things got a lot better. And you can race anything if everything's pretty close.
Yeah, right?
Pretty close.
I said it earlier, horsepower, torque to weight ratio, and, the ingenuity, the brakes and the seat and the rider position and all those different pieces and parts all play well to make a homogeneous racing machine that works for one particular rider or another.
And Rob's right. What they're putting on their bike is available to us 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah. No, I mean,
that was
what I was looking forward to the most.
Brake seat, before everyone's like, well, how many over do you have to go to 12 to 14 to 16 on the wiring? Pretty soon it's going to be how many under do you have to go, because they're going to be basically clip-ons on top of the bike. So your fly-by-wire is going to be like 10 under by the time, it goes into this market.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think there's that going on. We're going to see. I'm excited about seeing more safety too. I know that sounds corny, but I'm looking at different technology for, making sure the riders are safe. Because people are going to push the envelope and people are going to go down,
Better brakes, better suspension, more ground clearance, a better ergonomic package. So you're in a much more appropriate position to ride the bike aggressively rather than your hands feet in front of you and things like that. So this is going to develop a lot safer products because it's going to make the bikes that much more nimble, they'll brake quicker because they weigh lighter. They'll accelerate from danger quicker because they have more performance. They'll be able to maneuver around things because of better ground clearance. So it's a win-win-win-win. You can put about 35 wins on that.
Yeah, and look at all of that trickle down engineering into the books like the Fat Book, to where they are going to be available at readily at any shop like mine or John's or anywhere local to anywhere where there's a drag dealer. That stuff's going to be in the catalog, and I'm excited for that because that's going to be. I tell everybody all the time, Rob, we're in the smallest $1 billion industry I can ever think of.
Well, and it's always a moving target too. When it switches gears, you think about probably, and I can't speak to this wholeheartedly, but I bet the biggest big wheel bagger was about a 34-inch wheel. And in the blink of an eye, it went to 17. Yeah.
Right.
It went from 34 to 17. 17 is now the new cool wheel. And if you would have showed somebody a picture of a bike with 17 on it 8 months ago, before that, they would have been like, you're out of your mind. There's no way that's going to replace that. And here it has. And, so many of those bikes, it was so hard to ride them. And you could ride them because of the air suspension and get them up, but not the corner, the braking, the distance. These bikes are much better touring bikes as well. They work
Absolutely
good.
They are.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. If you improve the suspension, improve the handling, it's going to be a better touring bike. Do you think that, like we were talking last week about the Destroyer, the V-Rod Destroyer? Do you think that the factories, either Indian or Harley, is going to get to the point where there's race bikes coming out ready to go?
You know how there's CVO bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's going to be and if you could buy a flat track bike, Vance and Hines builds a flat track bike, 750 flat track Harley Davidson. I'm not exactly sure who builds Indians. Maybe they sell them themselves in a limited capacity, but I could see probably a $70,000-$80,000 race bike. And they'll be and I could see them both coming up with one. I think Harley's going to really have to take the motor out of their Pan American, the suspension, the frame technology, and that's going to be their, when they bagger out that bike, that'll be when you buy 150 horsepower Harley stock.
Yeah, the Bronx, the 1250.
The Pan American, the adventure bike.
The Bronx that they were going to come out with that they canceled, I think is going to come out now. That's the Harley racing's catching on.
Yeah, I think this is going to be.
Well, they need to make it. They need to make it into a bagger. It doesn't matter if it comes out like a Street Fighter or something like that. I don't know if that's going to resonate. It has to come out in the bagger. And I think that they've seen a liquid cooled bike run at lower temperatures, a few things like that. So I think the faithful will be asking for it pretty soon after they see that why a single shock's better than two, why upside down fork, why oversized rotors. When they see it, they're like, no, I want that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't put the V-Rod engine in another frame. The years that was out, I was every year I was like, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. And they never did.
They had that little kit. Drag used to even sell it, and I've seen a couple of them. Other than the fuel capacity, they were pretty cool.
I built one. I loved it.
The V-Rod,
the road rod.
Road rod?
The road rod, yeah. It was an awesome highway bike.
Yeah, it actually was a very good looking bike. I want to remind everybody, if you've got any questions for our guest, make sure that you put them over here.
Hey, let me give you a couple more things, because I know you got Cole coming up, and we got a lot of stuff that happened today. Our merchandise, we partnered up with I think one of the best guys in the game. If you guys have ever been out to Sturgis and you met Mike Maloney, he's a stand-up guy and he's got a big business going right now. And it's just really, really going well. And he partnered up, so we have merchandise. You can go on the website and check that out. And then some other people may or not see. We finally, there we go.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. I want one of them camo hats.
Oh, who doesn't? And then
right, those are looking stuff.
And then there's been so many people that have been, they want to race, and we never wanted to take the road racing community and go, nope, you got to follow our rules. We want to follow theirs. If it's safety equipment, if it's the way you organize and run and orchestrate a race, we're going to do that. The way you get a licensing, we're going to do all of that. We're coming in to be a guest, but when we do have it, it's going to be all for Harley. Well, we're going to have a ride race school on Saturday at the event. This would be that last minute guy that's probably been at the track a couple of times, wasn't able to get it done. They wanted to come out. We're flying in a guy. He's going to be the sensei of the track. He'll get us all dialed in. So it's going to be, if you wanted to come out and get it dialed in, make sure you get a hold of the people there. Alex Mock will be the race director and get set up, because it's your last chance. You could come there, get certified, get your practice sessions in, get your thing, qualify up, and then race on Sunday. And I think that'd be pretty cool. And the classes that you can compete in would be hooligan, big twin, or pro stock bagger. Those would be the three classes that you would be eligible in doing that. And your bike would obviously have to pack no lights, no mirrors, no thing. The safety wire is necessary, but it's not nearly as intrusive as it once was way back in the day, surprisingly. It's really about 5 or 6 bolts anymore.
Rob, did a lot of people reach out today with that announcement? I know I reposted it. I saw it everywhere.
Sure. No, we had some people reach out today. The ceiling was 12. I think there's a couple more spots left.
Okay.
To get in. That's how many they can push through safely. Now, just because you sign up doesn't, you have to pass. That means you don't ride over your head. You know what you're doing. You have some road race skill. You can't just be like, I'm going to come in there, motocross, take dudes out. You're gone. The Alex and these guys are professionals. They're not putting anybody out there that should not be out there. Their safety is our number one concern. We never want to do anything to put anybody in harm's way.
There's a couple other events that are part of the weekend in Salt Lake City. One of them is the Arlen Ness is having a custom motorcycle show, correct? And there's also a stunt.
So not just Arlen Ness is having a show. We were pretty lucky. We got Corey Ness, Zach Ness, Tom Motzko from Dragon. Chris will know how nice of a deal that is to get him out of Spearfish. If I was Tom, I'd never leave Spearfish. I know he likes going to Daytona, and I know he rides around where he lives a lot, but he's coming out to judge it. And if I'm not mistaken, I have to check, but I think Jeff Holt's the other judge, and they're going to judge the show, and they have some great awards that they're putting together. We got Marshall Tucker, who is from LA Choppers, not the renowned country and Western star, but Marshall Tucker from LA Chopper, and Amanda from Icon, and they're going to be handling out the awards and things like that for. And then we have the stunt show that Daryl Bassani put together with guys, and we'll have a couple of those throughout the weekend. And that's going to be the gist of it: the bike shows, the stunt shows, the racing on the track, the vendor row, great food and beer, and I think they even have an liquor sales there at Salt Lake City. They do things right. And
yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it wasn't just the racing. There's lots of things to go on. It's very V-twin centric. It's a whole weekend of lots of stuff.
It's pure V-twin. We're the guys at Drag have a sister company, Parts Unlimited, who do a great job with the metric road racing side. And we said, look, we're just going to really concentrate on the drag side. We're not trying to mix in something where if you're coming there because you have a real passion for the Harley and Indian lifestyle brands, aftermarket, you want to see it, we're not going to bog you down with anything else other than that. I mean, that's what the weekend's going to got a bunch of dealers that are building bikes and coming out. We've got Ben Carlson that's going to be double classing. He'll be riding a Suburban Hooligan bike. And then he's riding a Sly Fox Pro Stock bike. Just a lot of stuff coming. Pistol Pete, Luke Leatherman bringing Ben Bostrom there. That's huge. Tyler O'Hara on the SNS Indian coming back. That'll be a fresh bike. I hear Daryl Bassani got Chris Rivas going. We got one of the greatest flagmen in the game. How about my guy there?
We had him on one of our segments a couple weeks ago.
That's one of our biggest posts on there. That guy's killing it.
Right.
So we got our new merch. We got our rider school. We've got our first event coming up. And now here's the thing. It's not a party unless you invite everybody. We need everybody to come. We want to do this. We want, and you guys were talking about the grassroots, as we have more and more track days and more ride days and more events and things, there'll be more and more racers and these events will grow. But these early ones, we need you to come out and at least check it out. Come to the event, support the guys that are doing it and girls. Obviously, Patricia Fernandez in her video with Corey West, phenomenal. But come support them so that, you can keep doing it again. Now, for the folks that don't, are close enough, and I think anywhere under 12 or 14 hours is close enough myself. But if you're not close enough, we'll be on Fight TV. So you download the app. Lucas Oil Productions is shooting it. It's going to be a huge camera shoot. The big semi is going to be in place, and you watch all the classes, all the main events starting at 1 o'clock Mountain. I believe that's 3 o'clock Eastern and noon.
That was my next question. Now, is there any pregame? This is basically the Super Bowl for V Twins. Is there any pregame stuff that you watched before?
No, the way they're going to be doing it, they want to get all the B-roll, they want to get everything shot, and they'll have Saturday. When we go live, they're going to have everything ready to go. I mean, it's the show. Now I'm hoping, I'm hoping that everybody can help support us. If they can't make it there, at least tune in and watch it. Have some watch parties, have some friends over, buy some merchandise, get around in your kit.
One of the viewers just commented, are there any East Coast events planned?
I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. Come on, Flair. Okay. You know I'm bringing it back by us. I hate flying on airplanes.
when are we looking?
We definitely got some East Coast things planned. When we started this year, we were battling a lot of the lockdowns. We know we needed to go to some place that wasn't that had already opened up, and Salt Lake City had agreed to already be open when we started planning this, and we couldn't risk it that we were going to get, maybe closed down because of COVID or anything like that, and because of the space and because of how they were handling sport out in Utah, it was a natural fit for us. But yeah, we're definitely looking at growing the whole thing.
Can't wait.
I can't wait to see you out there, John. You and Jason will have an industry class.
I know. I'm dying to get out there. I have a family event that's been locked in for it's a wedding. It's been canceled. I don't know how many. Yeah. I don't know how many times. So I just can't make it.
Hey, you could always put it on at the wedding.
I'm going to for sure.
And right over by the cake, put us on.
Early enough to make it home to watch Sunday. So the wedding Saturday.
The thing is, here's the thing. Once and this is, once you buy it, you own it forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
So you could look at it later. You go to your friend's house, and you pop it in on the Roku, on the Fire. Boom, it's on the 80-inch TV. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you own it forever. The first Moto Fight Club that we did, I have a friend of mine, no matter what party he's at, it's on. That's his. He doesn't bring beer. He doesn't bring any food. He brings that.
That's awesome.
Be the best $14 you folks ever spent.
That's awesome. Oh, without a doubt. And download the app. Is there any other options besides downloading the Fight app?
Yeah, you download the app, and then it'll kind of walk you through it from there.
Okay.
But the folks out in California, NorCal, SoCal, Vegas, kind of Sturgis, I think it's about 8-9 hours away. Brian Clark's put together a big ride over.
Right.
It's great. You guys got the SHINE WERKS studio over at Bagger Racing League. We're going to have the SHINE WERKS studio too, where me and Villapoto and I'm sure Brian will be up there, and probably even Cargo will be calling some of the action by then. The dude's grown up so fast, he's already talking, I think.
Now, who else is announcing with you?
So we'll have Marshall Tucker and Amanda from Icon, and Amanda Sundavar, and they'll be handling a lot of the stunt shows. They'll be handling a lot of the bike shows, a lot of the information, a lot of the interviews on Vendors Row. So like when Jason's walking around, he'll be getting interviewed, coming up on stage. And Jason.
Yes, sir.
Be happy when you're there. I don't want to hear you're having a rough day. I want to hear you're having a Salt Lake City day. And I smiled that one right there. I want to see that. I don't want to see you sad. I don't like when you're having a rough and tough day.
When did I have a rough and tough day?
That was other than just now. Yeah, but I like when you're having.
We're good, man. I'm looking forward to it more than you know. I'm
Rob. If you give him ice cream,
that's it.
That's it.
Yep,
it solves the problem.
Yep. Just a little bit of ice cream and I'm good. All right, so I'm just got to notice.
I think we lost Rob. Yeah.
Difficulties tonight. We're going to move on. That was Rob Buydos from the.
Are we back? Are we back?
Oh, there he is.
Yep, there he is.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, we had a little tough technical difficulty there.
No, we'll wrap up with you here. But I was just going to say I'm having a good day, and I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to have a good weekend all next weekend. I'm looking forward to it very much.
So if you want that last minute license, we could do that. Merchandise is in stock. Don't forget about that. Tell a friend, come out to the event, be part of it, support the racers, support the companies that we have 33 sponsors that have got with us. And, we're beyond through the moon with the support from the industry. We're going to have a non-spec tire race. So we'll have Bridgestone, we'll have Continental, we'll have Dunlop, we'll have Metzler in the house. Tyler Porter will be there. You never know how this is going to play out. There's going to be win ads. I think Torque Magazine win ads are going to be, there's going to be numerous classes, a lot of opportunities for companies to brag it up how well they did.
Well, good, man. I am looking forward to it. I'm super stoked. I'll be there on Friday, and I'll be sending pictures back to John because John's not going.
Can't make it.
This isn't going. I know.
Devastated.
You're gonna, but I'll give you a shout out on Fight if you tell me you're on.
You got it. Definitely.
Rob, I had a couple people ask if they want to get the live stream through Fight, how can they do that?
They download the Fight app, FITE. Go on your app thing. Boom, it's there. Install it. It'll ask you a question. Do you like combat sports, wrestling, motorsports, like the motorsports? It'll come up. Boom, hit it, and we'll out your credit cards, just like doing Amazon.
Awesome. Very good. Bagger Racing League on Instagram is just Bagger Racing League, all one word. Facebook is Bagger Racing League. And go to the website, baggerracingleague.com. Get yourself a hat, get yourself a shirt. Make sure you're supporting all of the hard work that everyone's doing.
Camo hat, right?
Moving parts to this. What's that?
You're getting the first camo hat, am I right?
I hope so. I hope you're holding it for me. That and a couple of press credentials.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Yes, I will definitely be there. I will be haunting you between now and then, though. And I know you'll be busy, but I'll just send you text messages.
That's all right. Well, listen, I know you guys are busy. Thank you for your time. Merch is up. The rider race school. If you guys, again, there's a couple spots left. There's heck, you can camp. You got stunt shows, tons of them. And I mean, Jason Poulin and Smash Stunts. I mean, what she got, like 1 million Instagram followers?
At least.
Yeah.
Daryl Bassani doesn't fool around when he does something. You know, when he partners up, it's crazy the amount of juice that he can bring to something. So we're going to be, you know, doing that. Then the Arlen Ness Custom Bike Show with Corey, Zach, Tom Motzko, and the V-Twin Visionary walking around putting down. And these awards are like best paint. Like, it's a real hardcore show. These guys are going to let you know what they think is the future of custom bikes. And I can't wait to see some of the things that show up. And it's free to enter. Kids under 12 are free. And this is the best part. If I was going to the thing, when you pull up and enter the Arlen Ness Custom Bike Show, you have the best VIP parking spot all day long.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would for sure enter just for that. Where's your bike? Right there.
Yeah, it's a show bike. They're all show bikes. Rob, I do appreciate it. I'm going to let you spend the evening with your family. We're going to move on to the next segment, and I will see you next Friday with bells on.
Take it easy,
Jason. Thank you, John. You know, it's always a pleasure. I can't wait to see how much ass you kicked at the Buffalo Chip, because we'll be there, because the BRL is the Grand Marshal of the Legends ride this year. So you'll see Luke Leatherman, Robbie Lane, Alex Fox is going to be there. Corey and Zach have built the bikes for them, so they're going to be there. You never know. Probably the Nick Trask Turbo bikes will be there. You never know what with Nick bringing turbos. You don't know how many he'll have.
Right on.
Without a doubt.
All right, Rob. You have a good evening, sir. I appreciate it very much, and we will see you very soon.
Come on, you millions of listeners. Get out to the races. We're back, people. We're back.
All right. That was Rob Buydos from the Bagger Racing League. Check him out on Instagram on Bagger Racing League. And we will be right back in the SHINE WERKS studio with our next guest right after this.
Nick Trask. You're watching Talk Performance TV.
I decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
We're ready to race. What's your strategy? Go fast.
The Fueling name has been associated with racing and high-performance engines since 1974, when founder Jim Fueling started fueling the flames. From Daytona to Monaco, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to the Indy 500. Fueling is here to compete. Look for the Flying Pig to run up front this year with pilot Ben Bosco. Fueling. No bullshit, just performance.
Welcome back to the SHINE WERKS studio. I am your host, Jason Hallman, and this is my co-host, John O'Brien, and our guest this evening, Mr. Cole Freeman. Hi, Flyin, Cole Freeman. How are you, sir?
Doing good, man. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. Cole? You're in the Midwest, right?
It's a little humid. but yeah, I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Missouri right now and at an event for First Form. But yeah, just hanging out.
Awesome. You and I were talking earlier this week, doing some pre-interview stuff, and you had some awesome stories you were telling me about. You've got some pretty big events coming up this summer. Why don't we start with that, and then we'll circle back to some of your backstory stuff for people that don't know.
Yeah. So, long story short, the city of Sturgis came to me and, well, actually they came to me last year about doing the official closing ceremonies, and COVID happened. So postponed. And then this year they kind of came back, circled around, and they're like, hey, let's get a proposal from you to see what you can put together. And I'm like, all right. This kind of works for me because I want to start doing my own events and basically doing them to raise money for a good cause, which I used to be a firefighter paramedic, lost my job because of an accident up in Sturgis. And with that being said, I teamed up with a charity out of St. Louis called Responder Rescue that helps out first responders that have either died in the line of duty or lost their job and need help financially to feed their family. So I teamed up with them, and we're going to go ahead and do an official block party. It's Cole Freeman's American Daredevil block party, and we're going to basically shut down Main Street, Sturgis, and Harley Davidson Way from 11 to 4. We're going to do a VIP luncheon with Sugar Fire. They're going to feed everybody. Everybody that comes through the door, it's $100. They get an entry to win a motorcycle that we're giving away. And then they get a t-shirt designed by Darren McKeague, a poster designed by Darren McKeague, the food, and some other good stuff. So
and
looking forward to it.
A brand new motorcycle, right?
Yeah. We're going to custom build the bike to be badass. It's not going to be, just a normal motorcycle. If it's got something to do with me, there's going to be some performance behind it. So, yeah, we're going to unveil the bike at Sturgis. So it's going to be good, man. We're looking forward to raising money for a good cause, and we're looking for some more sponsors to get involved. And, it's not like we're doing this to line our pockets. We're doing this to help people that help others. So.
Well, that's some of the best stuff you can do.
Real quick, we got a viewer asking, what is First Form?
First Form is a supplement company out of St. Louis, Missouri. And it's owned by Andy Frisella, a buddy of mine that started supplement superstores and then created his own supplement products. You know, they make everything. I mean, from protein to reds and greens. I mean, they got everything, and it's an amazing brand, man. And I'm looking to team up with them to do a bunch of big stuff. And he actually wrote the program 75 Hard, which is what I've been doing to get my mind right and to get my body back into shape. And I mean, really, it's a mental program. It's not a challenge, it's a program. And yeah, I've been busting my ass.
That's the awesome. That's the one thing I saw. Like, you've got an interest. Andy has a very interesting backstory, but you have a very interesting backstory as well. And I wanted to bring up that 75 Hard because I've watched you there you go. Look at that. That's a transformation. You're about halfway through your 75 Hard, right? So
yeah, in that picture, I was probably day 60 or something, but now I'm on phase 1, day 17. Day 17. So. Yeah.
So that's a very tough thing to do. The Hard 75, you have to. There is a regimen, no alcohol, no sugar. You read a book, a non-fiction novel, 10 pages a day, right? You've got to work out. Part of your workout has to be outdoors. You should try it, John.
2 workouts, 1 outdoors.
Yeah,
man. You could look like that.
No alcohol. That's easy for me. I don't drink.
Yeah,
the sugar. Dude, the fucking ice cream kills me this time of year with the humidity and the heat. The ice cream's my go-to.
You'd be surprised at what you can accomplish if you just take it one day at a time, my friend. I was in the same boat as you. I was like, fuck that. I don't want to do this. Like,
yeah.
Dude, and I literally, my dog died, got hit by an 18-wheeler, and I woke up the next morning and I just took off running. I ran 4 miles.
Oh, no shit.
I can't run.
About the dog.
Blown out knee, dude. I got a torn ACL, MCL, LCL, meniscus. Like, running's not good on my knee, but I went and I just like blocked everything out. I went. I got home and I was like, well, I was 50 minutes. I might as well just start 75 Hard. You know, like why?
Wow.
And it's just how it happened. And man, I don't know. I'm day 90 something now, and 5-minute cold showers, like all of it. It's really helped me a lot. And it's not a physical program. It's not to get yourself in shape. It's to get your mind in shape. And the cherry on top is physical aspect of it.
We've seen you in the last couple of years jump over several different things and seen you fall off the end of a ramp and seen you almost wreck and not wreck. And what is it that drives somebody to actually do what you do? Because I mean, when you're a little kid and you jump your BMX bike, that's one thing, but you're jumping large objects on another large object that could potentially cause great bodily harm.
Oh yeah. I mean, the easiest way I can put it to you is that
holy shit.
This day and age, everyone is taking the dare out of Daredevil. And what I mean by that is they're using modern day ramps, they're using speedometers, they're wearing leathers, they're like calculated. All right. Not that I'm not calculated or know what I'm getting myself into, but I want to keep the dare in Daredevil. And what that means is I'm going to use nostalgic ramps like Evil. I'm not going to use a speedometer. I'm not wearing leathers. I'm wearing a suit jacket. Like, I'm trying to keep the thrill alive. I'm going to fucking crash. I am going to get hurt. It is part of my job. I know it's going to happen, but the longer I can prevent it from happening, the better, obviously. But I want these people to realize that I'm chasing the American dream still, and it's still alive. It's still out there, but you have to work your ass off for it. It's not just going to be given to you. Yeah. And with that being said, we are in a time that we need another Evel Knievel. And I'm not trying to be Evel Knievel. I'm just trying to keep his legacy alive while building my own. And that being said, my mindset, I know that I will be the world's greatest daredevil to ever live. I know that. It's in my mind. I manifest on it, and it's already happening. I mean, there's nobody else in the world that jumps a rogue glide. Nobody's ever done it. So how do you go and not ride Evel Knievel's coattails? You jump a fucking bagger. Excuse my language, but
right.
You jump a bagger, dude. Like, who else has done that? Nobody. You know, nobody's dumb enough to do it. Like, that's why I did it. Like, shock factor. Like, I have to show the world what I'm capable of. And yeah, I've messed up. I've crashed. I've had I've broke my back twice. I had a heart attack at 32 years old. Like, I blew my knee out in Sturgis, lost my firefighter career, thought my life was over. And really, it was just an opportunity for my life just to begin. Like, really, like, I was literally thinking my life was over. And really, in all reality, it was just God putting me on the right path that I needed to be on. And I was refusing to do it on my own. So he forced me in a different area, man. That's what happened.
Cole, real quick, we have a viewer asking if there's any canyon jumps coming up in the future.
For the right amount of money, yeah, I'll do anything.
And the road glide jump with the ramp at the end. I watched that probably 500 times, at least 500 fucking times.
I appreciate the views.
It was, you know what I mean? It was impressive. Did you figure out what caused that?
Oh, fuck yeah, I knew right away.
No, when you landed, you knew that happened.
Oh yeah, so we had a 14-mile-an-hour headwind all day long, 14 mile an hour blowing in my face. All right, I got to go 3 mile an hour faster. Not that I'm using a speedometer, can't even see it. It's behind my freaking T-bars. So I'm like trying to get my speed dialed in. I got it. I'm good. We're good. Here we go. Halfway up the ramp, flag stopped blowing. Shot's already fired, dude. I already pulled the trigger.
It was out.
Can't let off the gas, you know? So no wind. Now I'm going 3 mile an hour too fast. Well, that 3 mile an hour sent me 100 feet. I was only supposed to go like 65. And yeah, I was like, son of a bitch, this is going to hurt.
No
and I just
shit.
held on. Yeah, man, I knew. Literally, I said it in my helmet. I'm like, this is going to hurt. Like out loud in my helmet, I said it. And yeah, that was when I had a heart attack.
I got one quick question before I kick it back to Jason. How did you have a heart attack at 32?
From breaking my back, they think I blew it through a blood clot. They don't really know for sure.
Got it.
And I was partying, don't get me wrong. I was having a good time. So I don't know if that was part of it. I was going through a breakup, so I don't know if that was part of it. I mean, there's all kinds of factors. I really don't know. They don't know either. But yeah, I fucking had a massive heart attack. Like, I was dying. I was in my dad's truck. I'm like, this is it, man. Sorry. I'm going. Wow. I'm not going to make it. Like, I'm not going to make it to the hospital. Like that feeling of impending doom, that's real. The feel like people say like an elephant sitting on their chest, it's real. Like I was a firefighter medic. I used to hear people tell me this all the time. And then it happened to me and I was like, oh shit, this is a heart attack. I need to go to the hospital. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Has that changed? Did that change your attitude towards life in and of itself, or, you know, being near death?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it did. But I was back on my bullshit, partying and not giving a shit about my health. And yeah, man, I just started going down another slippery slope, fast, faster, and disaster. That's the best way I can say it. Like, that's been my lifestyle, like fast, faster, and disaster. Like, and now I'm changing it, man. I've been sober since February 12th. And, you know, I mean, it's been a long road, you know. Mentally, I have depression, you know. I mean, I'm human, dude. Like, I've, you know, had some shit happen just like anybody else, but it's how we deal with it, you know. And I'm learning to deal with it in a better way than, you know, drinking or, you know, whatever, partying, whatever it is. You know, I'm just fuck, man, I'm human, just trying to learn from my mistakes and grow and be better.
Well, you know, it takes pressure to make diamonds. So that's one way to look at it. I got a couple questions for you, kind of about the stunt career and the daredevil stuff. Do you have like a favorite bike to jump on for different types of jumps, or is that part of the challenge, is trying to make something that kind of two parts that don't fit necessarily in the way somebody would, you know, obviously a dirt bike's easier to jump on than a street bike, right? So, but is there a bike that you have that you feel like you can make pretty much any jump on?
No, I would just get on them and jump them. I mean, I don't even modify my bikes. Like my road glide stock. Like I just jump them. And
really,
if I were to like say the bike I would love to jump, well, yeah, I have the opportunity to use one of Evil's bikes to break some records. I just need to raise a bunch of money. And yeah, we're going to do it. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, that XG750 is a great jump bike. I mean, it's stock too, you know, I got a cool paint job and exhaust on it. Like, it's not built to jump. I never really built any of my bikes to jump. I just send it. I just got on it and jumped it. I mean, literally, like, I bought my ramps, set them up in the middle of a street behind a bar illegally, pulled my speedometer off, pulled my front brakes off, and just hit the ramps. Like, here we go. Let's go. And cops showed up about 10 jumps later and like, dude, you got 15 minutes. Get these things out of here. We're bulldozing them. And I got them out of there in 10. But yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy road, dude. Like, I'm definitely blessed. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Dude, like I said, I can't tell you how many times I've watched that. Even watching now, I'm still impressed.
It takes a set onion size of grapefruit to do something like that. It's awesome, man. It's very awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So this is your professional vocation. Do you have any professional support? Like, do you have sponsors? Do you have people that provide you with like steady, or is this something that every time you go out, you've got to hustle?
Every time I go out, I hustle, man. This is a never ending game. Like, it doesn't just pay itself. You know, maybe one day it might, but yeah, I hustle. I work my ass off for this. I have to go get sponsors, and you know, doing this. I used to chase events, Harley dealerships, but I'm done doing that. I'm not worried about those anymore. I want to do my own events. I want to raise money for a good cause, and that's kind of where my head's at. I need to do something to benefit others, not just myself. Whereas before, I was just worried about lying in my pocket. I didn't care about anybody else. And that's changed, man. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to help others. And by aligning myself with a charity and actually doing something for a good cause, it makes a big difference, you know?
John, do you have a question?
Yeah, quick question. Cole, the video of where you're coming up to the edge of the ramp and you're going to stop and you nosedived over. What happened there?
False neutral, man.
All right.
Early in the morning, I'm like,
it kills me.
I was like, we need to move these barricades back 20 feet. I need 20 more feet. And they're like, we'll do it for the jump later. And I'm like, we're doing jumps right now to test the bike out, because I just put a new saddleman tail section on it, so it kind of messed with the way the bike flew. So the bike was nose diving, and first jump, bike nose dives, adjust suspension. Second jump, nose dives, adjust suspension. Third jump, kind of flew all right, adjust suspension. Bang first gear, shift into second at the bottom of the ramp, gave it gas, and it hits rev limiter. I'm like, that's not good. Can't go to the left, can't go to the right. Had a 1945 Harley Davidson to the left, and had a bunch of kids and family to the right. So I couldn't bail. And everybody's like, oh, why didn't you go off to the left? Why didn't you go off to the right? Well, I fucking would have, but I didn't have an opportunity. Like, if I wanted to kill somebody. Yeah, sure. You see that little piece of wood to the left there? Yeah. Well, to the left of that, about 5 feet, was a bunch of kids and stuff. Like, just a bunch of people standing. I mean, you see all the people running over there. So
yeah,
there wasn't really anywhere to go. And it's just part of the game, man. You got to know that blood, sweat, tears, skin, it's all going to happen, man. You're going to get hurt. It's inevitable. It's not if, it's when.
Right.
And I mean, there's guys out there that jump every time and don't get hurt, but who wants to watch that? Who wants to watch somebody?
I love it. I love where your head's at.
I'm serious, man. Like, people do not want to watch somebody land safe every time. Like, my shit's sketchy every time.
Have you thought about doing movies?
Like, huh?
Have you thought about doing movie stunts?
Yeah. I just ain't into the pedophiles, man. I don't like them. And everybody in Hollywood's a pedophile, I think. So,
oh man,
I'm sure there's some good ones out there, good people out there in the Hollywood industry. I just don't really want to get tied up into the bad part of it. But yes, I would do some movies for the right amount of money. Yeah.
Right on. Let's tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Responder Rescue and what they're all about, and how people can find out more information about them.
Yeah, I was a firefighter medic for 6 years out of St. Louis, and I got hurt in Sturgis and lost my career, but I had known Pat Byrne for probably since I was 12 years old, 13 years old. I went to high school with his daughter, and he was a captain at Riverview, and I was going through all my training. I started working up in North County, and I was seeing him a lot. And while I was going through medic school, I did a couple of stunt shows for his charity that he was just starting. So it just kind of started like that. And, you know, they're out there doing a good thing, helping families that need the help. And that's why I'm like, you know what, this is who I want to align myself with. And I know that they're doing good stuff with the money. It's not being spent on stupid shit. And, you know, they're actually helping people. So.
No, that's fantastic. Anytime you could can give a little of yourself to somebody else and ask nothing in return, it's always a good thing to do. So when we were looking through all the pictures and stuff, you've got a chopper that you do stunts on as well, don't you? Where everybody else is doing wheelies on Dynas and FXRs, you're out there in a rigid chopper scraping that thing on the back. Look at that. That is an awesome picture.
Yeah. So Jason, let me tell you something. I've been ahead of the game 10 years. And what I mean by that is, like, I was wheeling in a bagger 10 years ago. These guys are just now coming out wheeling in baggers. I was doing this 10 years ago. I was circle wheeling a full dresser in 2015. And I saw all these guys getting on baggers. I'm like, guess what? I got to evolve. I got to change the game again. Get a chopper, wheelie a chopper. It's a freaking panhead wishbone frame with a shovel head motor in it. It's a badass bike, dude. Like, that thing is a rattle trap. If you don't have tools on you, you're not getting home. Like, it's a legit chopper.
That's awesome.
And I got bare knuckle right now, rebuilding it, putting a badass front end on it. And like, this S&S sent me some parts for the motor. We got a new top end on it. Like, that thing's going to be a ripper. I can't wait. I'm so excited to ride that thing again. I love riding that bike.
How many motorcycles do you currently have right now in your stable?
I had 14. I just sold 2 last week. So, I think 14, some 12 now or something like that.
He's got us beat, John. I know someone else.
They all serve a
14
purpose.
motorcycles.
They all serve a purpose. Every one of them has been beat on.
Right. Hey, so somebody was asking if the jump was inspired by Yellow Wolf. Is there a correlation between Yellow Wolf and something that you've done?
Oh yeah. Yep. So funny story. So I was Yellow Wolf's a good friend of mine, and I called them and I'm like, hey man, my first public jump's in 2 days. They just called me. Not getting paid very much, but I got to do this. And he's like, we're coming. We're going to film it. We're going to make a documentary on it. Like, all right, well, if I'm feeling good, I'm going to jump that road glide. And he's like, he didn't hear if I'm feeling good. He just heard jumping a bagger. So he gets on Instagram to 680,000 followers. He's like, Cole Freeman's jumping a bagger. Shit, I'm jumping a bagger, I guess, you know? And we had 24-mile-an-hour crosswind that day right there. Yeah, snakeskin boots, 24-mile-an-hour crosswind. You're not supposed to jump over 12 mile an hour. I do it. There's people, they showed up to watch me jump. I'm going.
That thing is wicked. I just noticed you do have
snakeskin boots
on. That's awesome.
Yeah,
so what are some of your long-term goals, like specific? I mean, I know you want to keep the dare and daredevil and you want to push the envelope, but what are some specific things that I want to do X, Y, or Z, so we can put it out there and hold you to it and try to help you achieve some of that if we can?
It's not what I want to do. It's what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump the Great Wall of China on a road glide. I'm going to break world records on Evel Knievel's bike. So I want to jump 3 helicopters with the blades spinning. I want to jump over 56 smashed cars. I want to jump over 15 Mack trucks. So those are all records to be beaten and brought back under Evel's name. So that's the goal. It's going to happen. Just need to raise some money, man.
What's the biggest jump you've ever had up to this point?
Sturgis was 116 feet. And then 100 feet on the bagger and Mitchell. Wow. But like, people are like, why aren't you going further? Well, you got to pay me. I got to get paid to go further. Like, I'm not going to go out there and risk it for nothing, you know? I got a kid to come home to, man.
Right? Yeah,
and
man.
He needs his dad. So if I'm going to die, it's going to line his pocket.
So you're going to be at Sturgis. You're going to do the closing ceremonies, right?
Yes, sir.
And people can find out more information about you on your Instagram. Is Instagram kind of like the best place to keep up with you?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all Cole Freeman. And you can go to AmericanDaredevilBlockParty.com and order tickets right now, or go to the link in my bio on Instagram. I mean, this is happening. Like, we're doing this. This is a huge opportunity for myself and the city of Sturgis to do the first official closing ceremony. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's a big deal. And every bit of money that we're raising, we're using it for good cause. It's not, like I said, like, this is to raise money for a good cause.
And if somebody wanted to book you for an event, they could also do that as well, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll still do some shows. Yeah, if you go on the website, you can request a booking fee. You know, we'll give you all the information. You can hit up Jason Paul Michaels. I got him back in the motorcycle industry. He's working with me. I'm sure you guys know who that is. I used to own Standard Motorcycle Company out of Orlando. Great person. Jason's an amazing dude. And he's just really the person I've been trying to align myself with for the last 6 years. We've been trying to work together, and it just didn't work out. And I finally talked him into getting back into the motorcycle industry, and now he's working with me. So
awesome.
Looking forward to having him on my team.
Well, that's good, man. So the last question I have for you, do you have any bucket list stuff on there other than the jumps you're talking about?
Bucket list. I need to jump out of an airplane at some point, but I'm worried that I'll be so addicted to it that I wouldn't stop.
Yeah,
because I'm one of those people, like, being in this industry is not easy because you get these highs and these lows. And what I mean by that is, like, you get this adrenaline rush and it's good for a week and then gone and you're down. When I say down, I mean, so I was talking about the depression. It's not easy. But
do you feed off the adrenaline or do you feed off the accolade?
Both, all of it. The kids more than anything, man. The look in their eyes, it's amazing, man. Like, seeing the look on their face is just, it's priceless.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate you spending some time with us this evening, and everybody needs to go to AmericanDaredevilBlockParty.com and get some information about Cole Freeman and his jump here in Sturgis. And Cole, we appreciate all the work that you're doing with the rescue, the responder rescue, and we look forward to seeing you in Sturgis. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys, and I appreciate you guys having me on the show, man. Let's talk
Thanks for
after.
being on, Cole.
All right, you guys be good.
Thanks.
All right. When we come back from our tech segment, we're going to go right into From the Gram. We'll be right back at the SHINE WERKS studio.
Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Tech Tips on Torque Performance Television. It's Mark again from Texas Performance Motorcycles. This week's tech tip, we're going to kind of go over some basics of what we like to carry on our bikes when we travel, and how that set might differ depending on what kind of bike you ride and what you feel comfortable tackling on the side of the road. All right, so I kind of break mine down into multiple sets because currently on the bike I'm doing the most traveling on, I don't have saddlebags on there. So I kind of have them broken down so I don't just have one big giant lump of tools. A good quality set of just some generic hand tools is always good. Some sort of wrench, an adjustable wrench or pliers, a screwdriver that has multiple attachments. This one happens to have a low carrying case in the handle. So I've got some Torx bits, some Allen bits, flathead screwdrivers, Phillips screwdrivers. A couple of adjustable wrenches are always great to have. A ratchet, if not more than one, and a good set. I like to carry ratcheting wrenches just because it kind of two birds, one stone. You have a box end wrench and an open end wrench, and you have a ratchet just in case it makes it easier to get things in and out while things are hot. You're on the side of the road, you don't have to keep popping off a closed box end all the way. I always like to keep some sort of magnet in case something falls. This is just what I put more bits in for the drivers. I've got electrical tape, is always a great thing to have. These are some of my bike specific tools. and adapters. You know, some basic things you're going to want to be able to do is adjust your clutch cable, adjust your clutch completely, adjust throttle cables. You want to be able to, you know, check torque on, you know, front axles, rear axles, calipers, brake pads, all sorts of different things. And that's going to really depend on your bike. So you're going to have to look at your bike, understand what you need to do it, and pack according to that. Always like to have at least some sort of rag to help clean up anything. And then just an assortment of sockets, just a good assortment of deeps, shallows. Spark plug socket is always another great thing. Again, that one's going to kind of depend on what bike you have, which spark plug socket you're going to need, and if you need anything else to get at those spark plugs. But a good plethora of different tools. And we also, again, we have, you know, this is another fun little tool that we like to carry. It has a quarter drive on one side, as far as a quarter bit driver, and then a quarter drive ratchet on the other side. So we can adapt multiple of these things that we're carrying into different situations to help us get at whatever we need to do. This is the one that kind of stays on the bike most of the time, even when we're not traveling. There should be a flashlight, and a little screwdriver, a little you know, snap-on or Matco screwdriver. Just some real basic things. An extra seat screw. Anybody that's having one of those fall off going down the road knows how much that sucks. This is for adjusting the fairing that's on the bike. I always keep stickers for the shop in this bag, but this one is a good one that we always like to keep on the bike. It's just some sort of tire plug kit. That's something that while you're on the road, if you have a tire go out, it's a pain. And if you got some way to plug it and refill it, it's fantastic. And this actually has two different ways. So this one is a separate tool. It actually takes the old CO2 pellet gun cartridges from back in the day when you were a kid. And it stores them upside down so you don't have to pre-puncture them. And it can travel like that. You might need a couple of these to do a tire, or you can do a kit like this. It has everything. So this has the actual tire repair kit in it, but it also has these giant CO2 cartridges that are designed to fill the tires a lot quicker and easier. But I always like to keep both because you never know if one's going to be enough, if it's going to leak going down the road, you're going to have to pull over multiple times. And you can kind of pick these up at any Walmart or Academy or any place like that on your trip. And then this last one is a little more random stuff, I should say. So again, lights, tire gauges, always a big plus. You never know when you're going to work on the bike in the dark. A lighter, a good set of just Allen keys. I like to keep a little light that plugs into my battery tender charger, just in case something happens with these. I keep a bag of just kind of some random bolts. I'll just take a few of them and toss them in a bag. That way if something happens, something backs out, I at least have a way to at least bolt it back onto the bike getting down the road. A paper clip is one of those things that people don't really think of. It is a fantastic tool to keep in your tool bag to help if you have to disassemble to do a wire repair on some sort of wiring that's going on your handlebars or whatever other part of your bike. And then I keep some little heat shrinks, side of the road heat shrink repairs. So these have a little solder built into them, just in case something happens. And I keep some mini fuses and some regular fuses too. And that's kind of basically what I will travel with most of the time in Loctite, blue and red Loctite, just so that way whatever repairs we do have to do on the side of the road, we can at least make sure that none of that's going to fall off. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to this week's Tech Tips on Torque Performance Television. Don't forget to follow Torque Performance Television at Torque Mag USA on Instagram. Don't forget to follow us, Texas Performance MC on Instagram and TexasPerformanceMC.com. And we'll see you again next week, Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern for Torque Performance Television.
Mark always makes me feel so inadequate. I mean, even his roadside tool kit is more thorough than mine. His explanation is thorough, everything. I mean,
that was impressive.
I'm sitting here watching that thing. I go, my bike, that's why I own a trailer. I just put my bike right in the trailer. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. Maybe it's because I'm turning into a crud mudgeon. But I want to thank Mark at Texas Performance MC because he brings it every week. He puts a lot of work into that, and I really, really appreciate that. That's actually a 2-part, and we'll have the next part on a corresponding, like maybe next week we'll run the second the second piece of that. But anybody that wants to see these videos in their entirety, they are on our YouTube channel, so you can always rewatch any of the stuff that we show here on Torque Performance Television. Our final segment for the evening. We find that we've made it to the end of our 8th episode, and instead of having 3 videos tonight, we have 4 videos tonight.
We shared too many this week. I don't even know which ones made the cut, which ones didn't.
So the ones that made the cut, you're gonna dig. The first 2 are actually the same person that posted, but one of them is the bike doing something, and the other one is a point of view from the rider's point of view. So, without further ado, I give you From the Gram. That's so
shit.
Not sped up or nothing, dude. That guy is just going hard at it, you know. And you know that's somewhere in the Midwest, because you can see that's at a ski lodge, and you see the ski the ski car. What do they call those things? The carrier or whatever. I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long since I skied. Dude, you got to follow this guy. It's P_DUD. He has got a shit ton of cool videos on his page, and he runs this thing. He runs that at the hill climb. Yes. The next video is that same run that you just watched. Watch this. This is great. God dang, that is awesome, dude. That dude is
that thing's got some torque.
It does have some torque, dude. And that dude he's going hard at it. Look at that. That dude can ride that thing.
Oh, he can.
Dude, I am so excited about all the digging we're doing to find people racing baggers, people racing on dirt, people hill climbing Harleys. I've seen several hill climb Harley videos lately. It's pretty awesome. So, this third video, dude, this one is, have you ever seen somebody do something and you know it's not right, but you don't care, you just want to see him, you want to see it go all the way? This one, dude, this thing right here, he almost had it. I call this almost got away with it too.
Oh man,
dude, he almost saved. Do you see how hard he hit that parked car, bro?
He rocked it. He rocked it.
Golly, he hit that thing hard. He didn't knock the wind out of himself anymore. So, look at it. Here it goes. Here's the thing. If he would have just grab the front brake a little bit or something. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. I think he was trying to ride it out and didn't go so well. So our fourth and final video is you got to hear it. This is a Road King at the drag strip. If you guys aren't following Cycle Drag, it's an awesome page. This guy has got a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of videos on Instagram, and he gets right up in there. This thing is badass. Check it out.
Gosh, that was fun.
Unfortunately, the video was not landscape, so we had to switch it, but it's worth it.
Jesus.
Dude, that thing is making some torque. He backs it up and he runs it, but you can see it'll pull the front wheel right off the ground and carry it a little bit. This thing's got some balls. Listen to that thing, John.
Yeah.
This makes me want to build a track bike so bad.
Whoa.
Dude, that thing gets down, son.
Well, if you were to build a track bike, what would you build?
I would probably try to build a dyno. I would strap the front end down a little bit, extend the swing arm maybe a little bit, but I would really like to do that. Or we got that Sportster that we have in the back, that 1998 1200S Sportster with the dual plug heads. I think that would be cool too. Probably.
Yeah, that thing would rip.
Yeah. Well, we did it, buddy. We've got our 8th episode under our belt.
Yes.
Listen, you guys, support us. Go to hardcorecycles.com. Every time I hear that kid cry, dude, I laugh harder. That's like our official opener from now on. We've got to find a way to incorporate that.
He got fucking destroyed when he hit that.
Dude, and you know what's funny is he was probably thinking, man, this thing is really fast. And then he hit that.
I'm making this turn. Fuck, I'm not making this turn.
I wonder if his parents laughed as much as we are laughing at it. We have gotten 4 weeks of laughter.
No, it's just unbelievable.
My dad would have been laughing his ass off if that.
Without a doubt.
Hey, so listen, make sure you go to hardcorecycles.com if you're looking for
Father's Day sale. Father's Day sale's ripping this weekend.
Battleman, Legends, Convention. Look at all that.
Yeah.
And if you're in the Central Florida area, feel free to stop by Cycle Stop USA. And if you need any tech stuff, give us a call. We're here to help you in any way that we can. Complete engine builds, trans builds, and in a couple weeks, I'll have a dyno.
Ooh.
All right, man. So, listen, next week, Bagger Racing League in Salt Lake City. I'll be there. John won't.
Killing me.
Yeah, I know.
Killing me.
I know.
When I realized that was, the same weekend, my brain was just like, fuck, I gotta. There's nothing.
Yep. So I'll make sure I send you lots of. I'll text you lots of pictures. But
awesome.
everybody that's commenting over here on the right, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. And
Shine Works Studio, thank you.
Yep.
NAMS, SNS, Metzler. Yep. Definitely appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you, guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Take care.